So this video is about Batman. I love Batman. Batman might be the best superhero ever written. We've seen so many iterations of this character. He's been a friendly hero that hangs out with Santa, a schlocky Silver Age cartoon, a brooding vigilante hell-bent on getting revenge for his family's murder. Lego? Today I want to talk about the movies, and this video might give me a little bit of shit, but just hear me out before you start hopping in the comments and telling me to put my head in a meat grinder. I just want to preface the video by saying these are some of my favorite movies, and I'm a big Batman fan. I don't think it's fair to say that these movies are bad because of the reasons I'm about to lay out. This video is more about why is this the case and a general exploration of some of these ideas, rather than a critique. Just for reference, these are the movies that will be on trial today. So moving forward, I'm mainly talking about the live-action Batmans post-1966, since that's when I believe Batman was fully realized and became the character we all think of today. There are key characters missing from the Batman movies. In these 9 movies I just told you about, Robin has been portrayed one time. Oh, it was 2 movies, but it was one time, one actor. And Batgirl has been portrayed once. But Zach, what about The Dark Knight Rises? That movie had Robin in it too. So this is not a very faithful adaptation of Robin in my mind. This guy could just be anybody. And it really feels like that was the plan all along.
You should use your full name. I like that name. Robin. Thanks.
But to me, this felt like a big middle finger. His character was completely changed to fit into this franchise. And that's not even the first time or the only time that it happened to a character in those movies. You could possibly argue that new Robins pop up all the time and they just take on the name Robin, because that has happened in the comics before. Different people have come along and been Robin for Batman. But something about that moment just does not feel genuine. They make Robin seem like a footnote at the end of the movie. Look, what I'm saying is when people think of Batman, or at least when I think of Batman, I think of Robin or his other sidekicks. But Robin has been looked over so much in Batman movies, and I don't really understand why, but I think I have a few reasons. I do have a feeling that it could be because they're Batman movies and not so much Batman and Robin movies. He's in the title and the story surrounds his character, but there are so many stories to pull from that involve the sidekick characters that also question what it is to be Batman and are some of the most powerful Batman stories that we have. A good example of this would be the Red Hood story. In the story, the Robin's name is Jason Todd, and in the story, Joker gets the best of Batman by blowing up Jason in a warehouse. Batman couldn't get there on time, and Jason is killed in the aftermath. But since this is comics, it gets a little weird after this. Jason is resurrected in a Lazarus pit, and he dons the identity of the Red Hood. Red Hood holds a grudge against Batman for never getting revenge the way Red Hood wants him to, by killing the Joker. Now, as we all know, Batman doesn't kill, or at least the best versions of Batman don't kill. Now, this story serves as an exploration of Batman's morals and his propensity to bring young people into crime fighting. What I'm saying is you can have stories that involve the sidekick characters that are about Batman and explore Bruce Wayne as a character. Man, I just want to see a scene where we have the entire Bat family sitting around a Bat table in the Bat cave talking about Bat missions. I already made a nice fan cast graphic for you, so Warner Brothers, I already did all the casting work. Please hire me. I want to make a movie so bad. Please, please, please. So this gripe is a little bit of a personal gripe. Some would say petty. I don't think any actor has ever really looked like Bruce Wayne. I like the comic book Batman, where he's very large, very muscular, angry fucking face all the time. But I will say I do like the more tactical and practical look that the movies have implored for the Bat suit. The comic book suit is a little bit campy, but what are you gonna do? That's comics. Let's go through the lineup so I can just tell you what I mean really quickly. Adam West, too small, kind of funny looking. Michael Keaton, can't move his head, also kind of funny looking, but in a comedy actor kind of way, not rugged enough. Val Kilmer, another short king. This one is close. Bat nipples and Bat forehead throw me off though. George Clooney just gives off too much Hollywood actor vibes. Too charming. Batman doesn't really smile like that. Christian Bale, once again, he's really small. He really nailed the Bruce Wayne elements though. He is the best actor on the list. Benjamin Affleck, okay, here's a hot take. Ben Affleck is probably the closest to what comic book Bruce Wayne looks like. I do like the wide body and the little ears with the weathered suit look, but the character is not great. I don't think Bruce Wayne really cracks as many jokes as he does in those movies.
Listen, I was wondering if you could put out a feeler, like aquatic, I mean, do you talk to fish?
Also, side note, the goggles look is not it. Looks like Owlman too much, and they look like they don't fit on his fucking head. Like, it looks so goofy. Let's do a little experiment here. Let's combine all the perfect elements of each individual actor and see if we can combine and make some sort of Frankenstein monster of Bruce Wayne. Okay, here we go. Ben's body, we'll scale it up a bit though. Christian Bale's face, a little bit more beefy and rugged. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it while I'm recording this, I did find an image where some guy combined all the faces of all the actors that have played Bruce Wayne. The picture is kind of cursed, but kind of cool. So I think we're going to use that, but let's still make it a little bit more rugged. I do remember it looking a little soft still. Okay, then the suit should be Batfleck, maybe with a combination of Bale and Keaton's heads. A good combo of modern and classic. We'll stick with the black and gray too. And there you go, the perfect Batman. So this was the idea that I had the most trouble dealing with. I personally believe that the Batman movies don't really add much to the Batman mythos. The stories are typically either retellings of existing Batman stories, so it's not adding anything, it's just redoing things, or they are generic watered down versions of existing stories. Remember I mentioned the Red Hood story earlier? Well, the Batman v Superman movie has like a whisper of that storyline. So casual viewers would not understand what's going on or wouldn't understand those references unless you had some asshole like me sitting beside you. Then in the same movie, there's the Dark Knight Returns elements that are just spread so thin over the entire plot, with Batman wearing the armored suit and he fights Superman, yada yada yada. But there's nothing about the new Bat acolytes or the mutants. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna do that story, put all the cool stuff in it. Don't just give me like a little tiny reference. Those stories are really popular and successful for a reason. Like, don't abuse them or don't waste their potential. I just wish that instead of adapting these stories poorly or in a very generic sense, they would either bunker down and say, we're going to do a faithful live action version of this comic book story, or they would just make new stories with new characters. Then that brings me to the idea of sometimes there are wasted characters in these movies. For instance, in the Nolan movies, Ra's al Ghul is just a normal guy, rather than being hundreds of years old and living off the essence of a Lazarus pit. What I'm saying is, if you're just going to change the entire backstory and function of a character, just give them a new name. That's a new character. This brings me back to the Christopher Nolan Robin, where I believe this is sort of just a wasted potential. What is the point of generating an entirely different character just to put a recognizable name on it? I just want faithful adaptations of my favorite stories, or I just want big budget new Batman stories. I mean, how cool would it be to see a full cast of Batman characters in live action? I don't know why Warner Brothers doesn't do this kind of thing. It almost seems like they're sitting on a pile of gold, but they have no idea that it's worth so much money. Just imagine a series on HBO or Netflix with a Marvel show budget where we have the Bat family, Batman interact with the Justice League, the whole rogues gallery of villains. Like, you can't tell me that every single comic book fan alive would not pay for that. What is funny though is Warner Brothers has been doing that for like 15 years, but in their animated content, and it works really well. They should really take some notes from the success of those movies. I hope this video didn't make you too upset, and if it did, please leave your hate comments. I might even reply to them. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscription.